Spartans! What is your profession?
They think I sleep. They think I got a do not disturb sign. The console is always open, the chat is always live. 2 a.m., 2 p.m., it's all just time to work. Y'all see the product, we don't see the clock. Let's run it.
He doesn't have an off switch, he just has a drive. 3 a.m. the code is lit, keeping the whole dream alive. No problem is too big, no detail is too small. He won't ever quit, he's gonna hunt it down and fix it all.
Check the timestamps on the check, this ain't no 9 to 5. I'm pinging Gemini 4, I'm barely alive. But the mind is buzzing, got a new idea flowing. Sun is coming up and my ideas glowing. They see a new app, think it's overnight. They don't see the dark, just a shining light. They don't see the coffee cups, the bloodshot eye, just the finished product and the clean UI. I am not the one, man, I am not the type to see a single issue and just let it hype me out of my focus. Now I zoom right in. This is dedication, this the will to
He
work.
doesn't have an off switch, he just has a drive. 3 a.m. the code is lit, keeping the whole dream alive. No problem is too big, no detail is too small. He won't ever quit, he's gonna hunt it down and fix it all.
Remember resume flow when we hit the launch. Had a bug in production, had to be staunch. Parse wasn't parsing, the PDF was skewed. Users in the comments, man, this app is rude. Most will wait till Monday, I was on it then. 1 a.m. just me, the AI and the pen. Give me 5 scenarios for this data leak. Why's the API responding so damn weak? We hunted down that glitch, me and the assist. Found a broken promise in the try-catch list. Patched the back-end call, fixed the CSS. That's the no problem, too small kind of test. And the site is running clean, his mind is moving on to the next big scene. He's asking what's the feature, what's a better way to build. His cup is never full, it's just waiting to be filled. Yeah. That's the other level, we don't just maintain. We use the AI partner to evolve the brain. What's a new feature for the coaching app? How can eloquent give them better feedback? Give me 10 ideas for the content too. Make them innovative, make them new school. This ain't work-life balance, this is work-life blend. It's a partnership that's never gonna end. No limit on the vision, no cap on the work. From a tiny typo to a universe. Yeah, I built that. Built it from the ground up. Now we pouring wins in a brand new cup.
He doesn't have an off switch, he just has a drive. 3 a.m. the code is lit, keeping the whole dream. And yeah, I built that.
Built it from the ground up. Now we pouring wins in a brand new
He
cup.
doesn't have an off switch, he just has a drive. 3 a.m. the code is lit, keeping the whole dream alive. No problem is too big, no detail is too small. He won't ever quit, he's gonna hunt it down and fix it all. Fix it all. He'll never ever fall. He's got the power. No off switch, no. Watch him go.
Welcome. How is everyone doing tonight? Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you had an amazing day. I am Tickle Drop. We are Engineer to Win. We do not miss. Hopefully you ate well. You are well rested. We are going to do a little bit of work tonight. Because guess what? The world continues to move, even when it is a holiday that we made up. It is a holiday that we made up so that we can have an excuse to go spend a bunch of money on food and then spend a bunch of money on stuff that we don't need tomorrow morning, but which started last week, maybe 2. I've been seeing Black Friday sales for the past 2 weeks now. It is what it is. But we are here to work. We're here to have a good time. We're here to have some fun, but we got to get our work in. We have to get our work in. We've been working on building this OBS, this native OBS YouTube plugin using C++. I got to explore the software from JetBrains Sea Lion, and it's pretty cool. I just saying it right now, I just thought about it. Sea Lion, like it's the letter C and then the word lion, but there's also the aquatic animal called a sea lion, SEA lion. I don't know why that popped into my head. I don't know. Maybe I am slow. But that's what popped into my head, right? we are going to be opening up another instance of OBS to try and install this plugin. I have no idea how this is going to go. Then we're going to see if this actually works or not. Then if it does work, then we want to see how we can package it as in a real OBS plugin, because when I go to install a plugin with OBS, it gives it to me like I think on Mac it's like a PKG file. I don't know how it would be on a Windows file. We'll research that. But I did some pre-work for today's show where I had to go into Gemini and ask it. How could I use OBS to do our live stream? And while we're live streaming, how can I open up OBS to test out the plugin? So it gave me some insight on how to do that. I will share that with you as we get into our first segment. But that is where we're at. That is where we are at. All right. That is our game plan for today. But before I jump into the show, we have to do a little bit of housekeeping real quick. So first and foremost, I just want to say a big thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel, helping us grow, helping us get this tech message out, showing that there are so many different ways to skin this tech cat, where we are using AI, we are doing testing, we are being very strategic. We're building the right mindset, the right habits. We're building the right tools to help us accelerate our growth into the industry. So that is what we do here. And for all of you who have decided to go on this fantastic journey with me, thank you so much. And I just have to let you know that I truly appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Shout out to my tech barbarians. Those are the those are the Patreon members, those who work with me one-on-one, those who join me for Vibe Code and Chill, those who get all the additional game that I provide so that we can win. Because guess what? We cannot be defeated. We are the very best. There's no one else like us.
We the best.
And shout out to my tech mercenaries, the YouTube channel members who allow this message, this channel, to go across the entire world. You know we do. You know how we do. You know how we do. Let's continue. Let's continue to get it.
Let's get it.
All right. Tomorrow we have an amazing episode of The Bug Bite. We are going to be talking about the alleged China state-sponsored hack of the one, the only Anthropic Claude. This is being deemed the very first official AI cyber attack. Yes, AI cyber attack. Anthropic, the whole Mr. Gloom and Doom CEO, Dario Amodei, his platform was jailbroken. Like we used to do for the iPhones back in the day. It was jailbroken to carry out alleged Chinese state-sponsored hacks. We're gonna be breaking it down tomorrow. So join me tomorrow at noon Eastern time as we go through what the hell actually happened with Anthropic and how they got hoodwinked, they got bamboozled, they got played. Saturday we have a special Vibe Code and Chill where we are going to be going through the coaching portal and how I added access for my Patreon members. If you are a Patreon member, you will have free access to the coaching portal. All the features that are part of it, we're going to be going through that. Going to be showing you guys how to log into it. I was working on it today and yesterday. I think it's working, but I can't really test it out because it's my Patreon, so I can't really log in as a Patreon member. So I'm going to need your help to help me test that out as well for all of my Patreon members. You'll get all the features. I'm going to be breaking that down. We're going to be talking about resume flow, the latest marketing feature enhancements that we added, and my content creation portal that I'm still currently keeping very close to my heart. All right. I am really not sure if I'm going to be releasing that content creation portal, but I don't know. I use it all the time, but it was my first. It was my day one. All right. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I need to release our last Sunday's Scrum Night. So I'm going to be releasing that probably on Sunday. So Vibe Code and Chill on Saturday, Scrum Night on Sunday, releasing the Scrum Night on Sunday from last week. And then we are going live this coming Sunday, where we're going to be continuing to build out our speech coaching app to help yourself so that you can speak clearly, confidently, articulate yourself well, get rid of the likes, the ums, all that good stuff. So here we build. We are builders over here, right? So that's what we do. But those are our announcements. That's what we have upcoming. How was your day? How was your Thanksgiving? Did you watch the games? Did you spend time with family? Did you eat a lot? Are you so full right now that all you hear is wah, wah, wah? Or were you productive? Were you active? Me, I'll tell you this. My day today, I had to schedule a video, create a couple of thumbnails. I was editing the bug bite for tomorrow, and guess what? I was putting together cabinets. Yes. My parents we are redoing their kitchen. And I had ordered all the cabinets. A bunch of them are here already, and I was putting them together. And once you figure out the groove, it's like, oh, this is like, I did like 4 cabinets today, right? And tomorrow when I go do some more, it is gonna be like a speed session because I got the blueprint down. So that was my day. That was my Thanksgiving. We had a little dinner afterwards, but I was putting together a bunch of cabinets over at my parents' place. You know, we do what we do for our people. All right, so we are actually, I don't have icebreaker today. Today's Thanksgiving. I just want to work. I just really want to test this out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my Gemini prompt that I used earlier today to test out how we can have the both OBSs working. So we're going to find out. Hopefully I don't ruin everything. All right. And I even have a very special sound effect / video effect for you as well, which once I have a opportunity to use it, then you will see and you'll be like, what? So with that being said, we are going to jump into our very first working segment of the night. Let me go ahead and put up the right. So boom, building OBS plugin for YouTube sharing with C++. That has been going pretty good so far. Knock on wood. Let me go ahead and open up my start. Before I start the timer, just open up let me close some stuff out. All right, cool. Let me go ahead and open up the software Sea Lion, not to be confused with a sea lion, right? All right, so we have Sea Lion open, and let me move over my prompt for Gemini to the other screen so I can share that with you. I don't need that one anymore. Doing a quick speed test, make sure we're good on the speed. It's all right. I think we'll be all right for tonight. But all right, so I am going to, so I have Sea Lion open, I have my Gemini prompt open. I'm going to put our first 20 minutes on the clock.
It's time to
All right, so this was my Gemini prompt that I said. So let me see. So where do we start off? All right, so, okay, so my prompt to Gemini was, I got the plugin to build, because last time we were having trouble getting it to build. All right, I think as soon as I ended the stream, I tried to build again and boom, it popped up. So we have to build, that's working. So I got the plugin to build and I want to test it out, but I'm doing all the work while live streaming with my people, with you guys, my people, right? Because I want to show you how I use Gemini 3 Pro to assist me in building software. The issue that I am having is finding a way to install the plugin the YouTube plugin on OBS while I am live streaming? That is my dilemma. I do have the OBS SDK, software development kit, because I installed it with you guys, downloaded and built, and I'm streaming from the official OBS DMG installed. So the DMG is the Mac file. It's kind of like a Windows executable, right? Installed in the application folder. How would I be able to demo installing the plugin while still being able to live stream? So that's what I need to do. That was my ultimate goal. All right. So Gemini said, this is the ultimate meta developer moment. Streaming the development of the tool you are streaming with. Right? Tell me about it. It says, since you cannot restart your main OBS without killing the stream, you should use the sidecar strategy. So you guys know what a sidecar is. I don't remember what movie it was, but you know those motorcycles, and then they have a little sidecar on the side because they don't want the person sitting on the back holding on. So they have a little sidecar where it's like the sidekick car, right? It says you already have built a second copy of OBS, the SDK version, on your machine. We will install the plugin into that specific dev version of OBS, run it as a second independent instance, and then use your main OBS to screen capture the dev OBS. All right, so hopefully that all makes sense. It says here is the plan to keep your stream alive while demoing the plugin. So we're gonna pray. We're gonna prompt on a prayer for this one because I don't want us to ruin everything. You know, I don't want to be like that. Like, you remember the movie Big Daddy when Adam Sandler walked in before I guess he was the husband or something, and she was like, "We wasted the good surprise on you." I don't want us to kill the stream or waste a good surprise on a dead stream, right? You know what I mean? So we are going to prompt on a prayer tonight. Okay, so as you need to manually copy your compiled plugin, the .so, into the app bundle of the OBS version you compiled earlier. Locate the compiled plugin. It should be in C-Line OBS YT video share build OBS YT video share. So we're gonna find that, and then it says locate your dev OBS app. Based on your logs, it should be C-Line OBS Studio build Mac UI debug OBS is actually front end on ours, but not a big deal. I had to try opening it up earlier just to make sure that it would work, so that's how I know. Is the copy command, run this in your terminal to drop the plugin into the dev OBS plugin folder. So it would be, okay, they're setting what do you call it? They're setting a variable, I guess we'll call it, for destination, and then it says into the folder, copy the SO file, adjust the source path if needed, build. All right, so we'll do that, and then run the dev instance of OBS. It says Mac usually prevents you from opening two instances of the same app, but you can force it using the -n flag. All right, so we're gonna do this. Like I said, this is gonna be front end folder. Critical warning for the stream: when the second OBS opens, do not add your webcam or mic to it. Your main streaming OBS already has exclusive control of those devices. If the second OBS tries to grab them, it might glitch your stream audio video. So got to be careful of that. And then safe demo in the dev OBS, just add a text source or color source to test if your plugin loads. Not sure what that means exactly, but we'll find out. Says step 3, the inception demo. Go to your main streaming OBS, the one that you're seeing me on right now. Add a new source, Mac OS screen capture or Windows capture or window capture, okay? And then select the window belonging to the second OBS instance. All right, got that. Now your viewers can see you clicking around the new OBS, checking the plugin menu, and testing functionality, all while the main OBS keeps the stream running smooth. So that is our hope and goals and our dreams and aspirations for tonight. Hopefully everything runs smooth, but guess what? Who knows? Who knows what happens? The night is young. All right, so I'm gonna go switch over to the other screen, and we are going to So there goes the plugin OBS YT video share, because that actually got compiled the other day. Although I'm trying to see what this. Let me see something here. I see it's compiled over here. I don't know what this particular error is referring to. But being that it's compiled, we're gonna go ahead and try to move the file over. So we are going to set up let's see, we're gonna do guess we'll do dest, and then we're gonna say C lion. I really not. All right, hold on 1 second. Let's do it like this. C lion projects OBS Studio. Build Mac OS, and we're gonna say front end OBS debug OBS app content plugins, and I am gonna go to and we're gonna say dest equals. So we do that, and then we're gonna say copy CP, and we are build OBS YT, and then $DST to use that variable. And we're gonna say enter. Ooh. Why don't you exist when you were able to? You existed earlier. How are you able to find the whole path and then all of a sudden you don't exist? All right, let's do this. Let's open up another terminal window over here, and I'm gonna do cd lion or cd C lion, and we're gonna say OBS Studio ls cd. We're gonna say front end debug ls. Oh, see what? Hold on a second. This would be front end debug. Where is the debug folder? Hold on. Oh, we need the build Mac OS. That's why. That cd dot. Oops. Build Mac OS. cd front ends debug ls cd OBS app ls cd contents ls cd plugins ls. All right, so that is all right. So this folder is there. So I'm going to do pwd, and I'm just going to copy this path right here, and I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to say just copy the OBS YT video share into this folder right here. Boom, done, right? So now if I go and I do a ls over here, I should have my OBS YT video share plugin right here, and there we go.
Are you ready?
All right, so now that we have that, we need to open it now. All right, so I am going to find me a terminal. Let's clear this one out. Let's open a new one. And I'm gonna put a terminal window here. And I am going to say open -n so that we can run multiple instances. C Lion projects, OBS Studio, build Mac OS, and front ends, UI, or no, debug. Oh, come on. Hold on. Typo. Front ends, debug, OBS. All right, so we're gonna open this, right? And launch anyways. And it is open for me now. I am going to say okay. And I need to go I don't know what that means. All right. It's open. It is over here. And I think, let me make sure you guys can still hear me. Yes, you can still hear me. You can still see me. So I think we're good. I have shout out to Dang Hen On for subscribing to the channel. Shout out to you. Hopefully you're having an amazing, amazing day. Let me see. Let's go to, let's do this. All right, so now that we have this open, let's go ahead and how can we see? All right, so now plugins, maybe plugin manager, and plugin manager. I don't see. All right, so we did that part. Now, how do we know if the plugin loads? All right, so now let's go back over to here. And all right, go to your main streaming, add a new source, select the window belonging to the OBS. All right, so that part is good. How would I test if my plugin loads though? So let me see. All right, so now how would I test if okay, I got the SDK version of OBS open. How would I know how would I know, or where would I find the YouTube plugin that I just installed? Would I have to build the OBS again after adding the .so file to the plugins folder? I'm just not sure yet. All right, so let's go ahead and find out because I'm looking. I have the plugin manager open, but I don't see the plugin, so I'm not entirely sure where I would go to find it. We know it built, so you don't need to rebuild OBS. That is the beauty of plugins. As long as the SO file was inside the folder before you launch the dev OBS, it should be there. How to verify? Depending on how you wrote your C++ code, it will appear in one of three places. The tools menu, it says look at the top menu bar for tools. If your plugin adds a menu item common for scripts or automation, it will be there. All right, let's see. Let's take a look. Tools, we have the record name, we have the source doc, we have the Elgato Stream Deck. Not there, right? Where else could it be? Where else could it be? It says the source list. Click on the plus button in the source dock at the bottom. If your plugin creates a new type of video source, it'll be listed there. YouTube video share. All right, let's check that one. If we go to add a source, video capture, media source, image slideshow. It is not there either. Okay, where else could it be? The docs menu. Look at the docs. It says look at the docs on top to see if it created a custom window. All right, last one. Let's take a look at the docs. We have YouTube control. YouTube controls? Is it this one? I see. No, that's not, because we have, so this is the one for the videos. Then this is the one for the, I don't know. Would it be that one? Let's see. We go to plugin manager. No. Where do I normally find my scripts? I don't see the scripts in here. So it must not be, because if I go here and I go to, I can't do nothing here. So, all right, I don't see it. So what we're gonna do then, we're gonna start the source of truth. If you don't see it, if you don't see it in the UI, the plugin might have failed to load or loaded silently. The logs will tell you exactly what happened. In your dev OBS, click help in the menu bar, log viewer, and in the log window, verify that you see the line loading your plugin, OBS YT share loaded successfully. If it failed, you'll see a red error message, module not found, symbol not found, wrong architecture. All right. Okay. It should sit right next to maccap.so or obs ffmpeg.so. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the logs. We're going to take a look at the logs. And to get the logs, we need to go to help. Make sure we click on this one. Help log files. And then we go to, I don't see a log viewer, but it's going to be one of these. Maybe show log files. And maybe not that one. Let's try it again. Help log files, view current log. All right. And can I make this bigger? Let me see. Can't make it bigger, so it is what it is. 2009. 2009 is not, it's just recently. So, could a YouTuber show transition? Mac virtual cam. Host camera. What time did I open this? Switch to intro scene. Mac screen capture.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
OBS browser. Startup complete. All right, so maybe it should happen around the startup time. Vertical canvas. All right, here we go. So there goes a list of the plugins. Loaded module. So this is vertical canvas. OBS browser. I don't think. All right, so okay, here we go. Here we go. front-end API, OBS front-end API. So all of these are being loaded from here, but it doesn't look like it tried to load the, I'm going to copy this whole file and I'm going to open up one of these and I'm going to paste it in here and I'm going to search for YouTube. So there's no occurrences of YouTube. So that means, or actually, no, it's not even YouTube. It's going to be OBS YT video share. So let me search for that. And it can't find it. It's not in the log at all. Cool. All right. So when we get back from break, I will search for why that it's not showing up in the log. And then we can continue investigating to see where is our plugin. All right. But it is break time. Let me go ahead and I'll check the chat and then we'll get to our first break time topic. We have Dab Hancock in the building says, where do you work? I work in the United States of America. I work for a tech company as a senior QA engineer. Hopefully that answers your question and helps you out. We got my guy Magnetar in the building. My guy Magnetar hits me with a Sith. Coach Ralph.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
How is it going, Magnetar? Happy Thanksgiving to you. Hopefully you had an amazing day. I think you said that you had some family over, so hopefully you got to spend amazing time with them. All of that good stuff. All right, so we're gonna jump into our first topic of tonight, which is, I saw a headline, should the poverty level be raised to $140,000 in the United States of America? So we are going to check that one out. Let's get to it. All right. So using the YouTube plugin that I built with Python that we're trying to migrate into a native OBS plugin, but we're going to start watching this video and I will stop it along the way to give reaction and some commentary.
I want to broaden this out a little bit and bring it to the discussion. The panel, Dub App founder and CEO Stephen Wong, along with the federal election correspondent Brianna Lyman. Brianna, you join me in these panels a lot. We'll put up a couple of charts. U.S. unemployment rates for 16 to 24-year-olds is 11%. For everyone else is 4%. Share of U.S. household equities held by Americans 70 plus has doubled. So essentially, what I'm hearing from younger people your age, is saying, hey, Mike, what you're describing is the old America, the new America is like the greatest days are behind us.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in my generation, I'm Gen Z, do feel this way, and it's problematic politically, especially for Republicans. The reason Republicans got a trifecta last November is they ran on affordability. They said, we're going to make it different. One, right now, things don't feel marginally different. I can't really feel a massive, switcheroo between Biden and Trump. And two, we wonder why young people are flocking to Mamdani, AOC Sanders, the socialist types. And it's because those candidates speak about affordability more than Republicans and even some mainstream Democrats do. And that's appealing when people in my generation feel like they're working their behinds off and they're not really getting much to show for it.
Stephen, there was a chart out, ironically, from Vox.
If I think back to when I was 16 to 23, I worked at a park. I worked at a dog racing track for like a week during one of those summers. I think when I was 16, I worked at a park. I was on the youth opportunity board at a library, at the city library. Learned a lot about the whole, I forgot what they call it, but like how the book organization happened at the library. When I was in college, I worked overnight at the neighborhood Walmart for a few weeks until I got for maybe a few months until I got laid off from there. Worked at a park in Orlando, and then came back down here. Worked at the park again until I graduated, which was probably like 21, 22, working in tech support. So were there always a large amount of high paying jobs available for 16 to 23-year-olds? I thought when you're graduating college around 21, 22, 23, 24, that's when you are getting into like your first quote unquote real job. You would probably be working different jobs before that. Maybe you'd work a little bit in college, maybe at a retail store, restaurant, fast food place, ice cream shop, odd jobs. But the fact that I don't know what is the expectation of 16 to 23-year-olds in this day and age, right? So I'm a little confused, like these really, really high standards. And then what this young lady is saying is, all right, things are really, really unaffordable for 16-year-old to 23-year-olds. I don't even understand why 16-year-olds are being counted in this, because 16-year-olds would still be living in their, like, with their parents, right? But regardless. So the solution is to flock towards people who will eventually cost you a lot more money and or take from you, because then at some point you are going to be the quote unquote the rich ones, because everyone else is going to be gone. So it just sounds like a lot of emotions without logic in what she is saying. All right.
This is a sort of left-leaning thing saying the median wealth of Americans under 35 is the highest on record. Mm-hmm. Now, it's not adjusted for inflation, but is there some excessive belly aching amongst young folks here?
I think you can see that in both ways, but I think ultimately what it comes down to is perception is reality. And like Brianna said, people feel the affordability crunch, or at least they think they feel it. When that's true, it's more important than ever to sort of address it.
Another thing that she said that I was just thinking about, like, so there's no difference, right, between one president from another president, but the previous president was in there for 4 years and the other one is not even a full year in, and you're saying there's no difference. Well, things take, like, if there is going to be a change, it does take time. And if it didn't take time, it was just a flip of a button or the press of a button, and then everything is changed and reversed, then there might be some validity to all of the protests and stuff that are happening, talking about no kings and stuff like that. If you could just say, well, press this button and everything changes. Life doesn't work that way. You did not gain 100 pounds overnight. So you're not going to lose 100 pounds overnight as well. And it's a lot faster to gain 100 pounds than it is to lose 100 pounds as well. So I don't know. It just sounds like a lot of emotions, a lot of emotional talk.
Those topics head on, and that's why we see more young investors wanting to invest more than ever.
Yeah, I'm going to get to your thing too, because we're going to talk a little bit, maybe solutions before this is over, but I'm going to back up on Brianna, what you did. So again, Mike, you had some pretty powerful folks talk about this. Peter Atwater had a comment, then Kim Kersan had something where he says the hyperbolic outpouring of support for Professor Plum's piece is the surest sign that the zeitgeist of populism is back with a vengeance. Do you think that's the case?
I do think that's the case. And I think, unfortunately, the reaction that you're seeing from entities like Vox, as I explained in the piece that came right before this, Are You an American?, basically boils down to messaging that's now coming from the left in response to Mandami's victory, because they're scared. They literally are saying, oh my gosh, everybody's angry. They're choosing to embrace these policies. That would be really bad for our big donors.
So this zeitgeist of populism, and by the way, it's not just America, right? It's almost all over, it's happening all over the world, Brianna. But, you know, Greg Ip had a piece in the Journal saying the affordability thing, you didn't hear about it a lot. I think the media didn't talk about it a lot under Biden, even though inflation went through the roof. But it moves, right? So right now, I think I saw lumber, frozen orange juice crashed. I mean, it's, you know, lumber is down, gasoline is down, but something else is up. So, I mean, so, you know, what is that? It's populism for you the answer?
I think it is the answer. And I think, to be clear, I think things are trending in a better direction under Trump than they were under Biden, but people can't feel that. And from this, the populist movement, everything else flows. If young people, my generation, feel like they can't afford to have a stake in this country, whether it's through home ownership, starting a family, they don't have any real reason to vote for policies that will make America better and safer in the future. It's just, you know, short-term immediate gratification, which is problematic.
It is amazing, though, the conservative birth rate and liberal. I mean, conservatives are holding up their part of the bargain.
We're
right?
trying.
The liberals aren't having any kids at all. I mean, so your business is you get folks to invest, particularly young folks. You know, there's an interesting piece out where millennial ETF investors say they have the skills to outperform the market, and so they're confident they can do this. Is this the solution? I mean, is ultimately, whether it's trading the market, it's the solution for folks, particularly young folks, to go out there in the old-fashioned, pull yourself up by the bootstraps and make it happen yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And my parents immigrated to the U.S. I was born in Detroit for the American dream. They came here for the ownership economy. And the owning a stock has been so associated with what it means to be American. I think young people don't see the traditional path working out for them anymore. And they see so many millionaires being created around them who are the new meme stock or crypto millionaires. But
so that's an interesting question, right? Because, all right, so the young lady was talking about, oh, owning a house and a family and all that type of stuff. But what? Owning a house is not all that it's cracked up to be. It's like you are buying you a lifetime of headache and burden and taxes and fixing stuff, and you can't just get up and move, and it is a headache. It is if anyone watching this has owned a house, they know that owning a house is a burden. It is. They'll try to sell it. Oh, it's an investment, and you own it. And it's like, yeah, you do own it. You own the bills. You own the maintenance. You own the cutting the grass. You own if there's damage, talking to insurance companies, and all this other type of stuff. As Magnetar says, it took a bit to sell. Like it's not easy to sell it either. And if the economy is in a downturn, you have that mortgage and you try to sell it. You might be losing money on the sale, right? Like, so, and then what this guy said, what this gentleman said is owning stocks the new owning a home? Like, is becoming a millionaire via your investments and stuff like that? Is that a new American dream? Is that a new American dream? Like, I think part of the problem is that we are very, very brainwashed into the way that society tells you that it should be is what people aspire to, instead of being smart and making your own path. Like, what if my goal or your goal is not to quote unquote invest in the house that I live in, but what if I just want to, own a bunch of properties and I don't want to have a mortgage? And I want to rent out these properties to different people. And I don't want to be responsible for all these other bills that come with me, like living in the house that I own, right? Like, can we start to think for ourselves to build our own path? And I'll tell you this too, like the people that you have around you, you have to build up their mindset. You need to see their mindset, because not everyone is supposed to be around you. Because let's put it like this. You can rewire your mind not to be influenced by society, by all the other people. You see like this person over here, they're driving. This is the common thing, right? Quote unquote, keeping up with the Joneses. So your neighbor pulls up with a new Benz, right? Your neighbor on your left, your neighbor on your right, they pull up in a new Tesla, right? And you have a modest Honda Accord, maybe a modest SUV, whatever, right? And you're like, oh man, should I upgrade my car? Should I get a new car? Blah, 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 blah. However, your modest car is paid for. You don't have any additional bills. Now, when the government shuts down and they are not giving SNAP benefits, and your Mercedes on your left and your Tesla on the right, they say that they cannot eat. They said they can't eat because they chose to rely on the government for assistance so that they can ride in their fancy, expensive cars, and then they can't pay it. And they like, and I was like this for a while too. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna lease a car every 3 years, get another car. But I'm like, I'm not putting anywhere near the amount of miles that I would, like, by the time the lease is up. And the car runs fine as long as you do the regular maintenance to it, right? As long as you do the regular maintenance to it. And I'm just gonna keep like, and the price, like every time you lease another one, the price goes up and up, and you want a bigger car, a nicer car, and you are like, it's not worth it. For me, I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this anymore. I am not doing this anymore. And I honestly think that we need to separate from what society is telling us that is the way to go. And we need to see, okay, what makes sense for me and my household? What makes sense for me? And not just because to say, oh, you need this new car. Oh, you need this bigger house. You need all this stuff. It's Black Friday. You need a new TV. Well, my TV works fine. I just got it last year, Black Friday. Why don't you need a new TV? Are the things that you're getting going to be beneficial to you, or are you just trying to keep up with everyone else? All right. So I'm not gonna watch the rest of this video. That's just, what the heck? Oh, hold on 1 second. Give me a second. My battery is plugged in. All right. That would have been bad. It's like my laptop said, you only got 7% left. I'm like, what? It was plugged in, but it wasn't charging. So we're good. Right. But yeah, I'm like, we need to separate ourselves to be more practical, be more realistic. $140,000 to be the poverty level? Are you? Come on. That would probably put a good 90% of the US under the poverty limit. And then what? Or what we could do is be smarter about how we allocate our resources, our funds, and we can be wiser, be more practical, move better. You know, they say the average person makes about 45. Let me look it up. Let's look it up. Average household income. In the US, the average US household income is 121. Interesting. Wait, average is you count, all right, so average you count everything together. So that includes the millionaires, the billionaires, the trillionaires. But the median household income, that means you take right at the middle, it's 83,730, right? A figure considered more representative of a typical household earning. The median is lower because a few very high earning households significantly pull the average upward. That makes sense. So the average is 121, but the median, which is more accurate, which means like right about the middle. So you take all the household incomes. So that means regardless of the person who's making $1 billion a year, it doesn't matter, because let's say there's five people making $1 billion and 100 people making 40,000. The median is going to be like a good, maybe 100,000. I mean, not even that, like, but so that's the difference, right? So that's why the median is more important than the mean, the average, right? But so that means like if they were to move it to 140,000 as the poverty level, it would be a little less than double. It would be that no. We as people messed up because we let the government take over insurance, take over food, take over the job industry, take over like minimum wage and stuff like that. And whenever the government gets the biggest fear that you should have, and no offense to my guy Magnetar, but whenever the government says, "Hello, I'm from the government and I'm here to help," you should run like hell. All right, but that's it. That is it for that segment tonight. All right, I'm gonna check the chat and then we are going to get back to work. Let me see. Magnus says, I got a very late start on the turkey. It's still going. I would have been shocked, but you are 3 hours behind me, so it's like 5:30-ish for you. So you're probably gonna eat maybe a little bit later, but not super late. Because for me, if we still had the turkey going, it would be a living nightmare for us over here on the East Coast. Magnus says, I remember minimum wage being $4.75 back in Buffalo, New York. When I started working at 16 years old, the minimum wage down here in Florida was $5.15, and I was getting paid $5.25 an hour, 10 cents over minimum wage. And Magnus says it took him a bit to sell his home. Yep, I'm telling you. It is not as cracked up as it is. And this is how they get you, right? They say, oh, you can get a FHA loan, right? And you can only put down 3.5%. But what they don't tell you is that just by you putting down that 3.5%, you still owe the other 96.5%. You still owe it. You just put less down. So instead of putting that 5 to 20% down, you just start from a lot further back, and you have to pay that. What do you call it? The mortgage insurance premium for the duration that you have an FHA loan, which if you were to get the FHA loan and you try to refinance today, your rate is going to be so much higher and it is going to be a total nightmare. Don't let them fool you that, oh, you have to own. Uh-oh, give me a second. Y'all want to own a home, right? Y'all want to own a home, right? And then our alarm just starts going off for the fire alarms are going off for no valid reason. And then the keypad doesn't want to work and it won't stop. And now you have the alarm company calling you and it's a total nightmare and a mess. And now you're in the middle of a live stream and you have to stop it and you don't know what to do.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
But you also, you guys are desperate for home ownership, right? You guys are desperate for it. I'm telling you, it is not all that it's made out to be. All right. I'm over it. I am over it. Let's continue. Magnetar says, grrr. I hear you. Magnetar says, if you are a veteran, there are some cheat codes. That is true. We have to take care of our veterans. Magnetar says, notice they preach individualism, but also want people following the same cookie cutter path. You're right. When you're right, you're right, Magnetar. When you're right, you are right. Says, we'll be right back. I'm back. Yeah. Oh God, it was. I got a call. I'm like, oh, it's the alarm company. Oh, but Magnetar's right. In the meantime, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, Magnetar. I said, go ahead and get another piece of it. I wish it was turkey. Save the drumstick. I got you, Magnetar. I got you. It says kids that aren't yours running through your. Tell me about it. Allegedly aren't mine. All right. Let's get into another segment because now I just want to work. Right now, okay? Because too stressed. Okay. All right. Let's go over to Gemini. Throw up another 20.
Let's go!
So, they said that we should see that the plugin would be in between. So let's make sure that we put in the right folder because I'm pretty sure that we did, right? But if we go to here and we do PWD, where are we? Let's go to CD, C Lion, OBS Studio, CD, build Mac OS, LS, CD, front end, LS, CD, debug, LS, CD, OBS, app, LS, CD, content, plugins, LS. And inside of here, we have the OBS browser. We have our YouTube video share. We have our... They said that it should be sitting in between MacCapture.so. Well, I see MacCapture.plugin and I see OBS Lua. So I'm gonna go into Gemini. I'm gonna say I didn't see the OBS YT video share.so loaded in the logs. Most of the plugin files in the directory have a .plugin extension. The only plugins with .so are _OBS python.so and OBS Lua.so. Let's see what it says about that. Let's see what it says about that, because maybe that'll give us some insight into why it's not working. All right, so if you don't see the plugin in the logs at all, not even there, it usually means OBS is skipping over the file entirely, usually because the permission of or the file extension. Since you're live, let's debug like a pro using the terminal. The extension check. Standard C++ build on macOS often default to .dylib dynamic library instead of .so but OBS specifically looks for .so or plugin bundles. Check what your build actually produced. Run this in your terminal. So if we run, all right, if you see, you must rename it to .so. If you see OBS ignores files with, that's not what ours is called though. So we can do it, but I know that's not the name of it. So if we go to, let's clear that out. We go here, hold on, C Lion, OBS. C Lion. Build. So we have OBS YT video share. Yeah, so that's fine. So now the permission check. Sometimes CMake files without execute permissions and macOS will refuse to load it and OBS fails silently. Let's do, all right, so I'm going to do this from this folder and we will do, let's go here and we will do cd build and we're going to say chmod plus X for execute permissions, OBS video share. Okay. Now, if we go and copy the file over again, which we'll do inside of the terminal. Where did I copy this? Where did I copy this? Was it not in here? I copied it. Maybe I copied it using this one. Or was it this one? So now let's do a C. All right, so let's do the CP again. No such file or directory. Oh, not that. Okay, it's copied. But now I'm also going to do it from this folder where I'm going to say the, I'm going to do the chmod, chmod plus X OBS YT video share.so. Let's do that. And now we're going to go back to OBS. We're going to close this one. And we are going to open it again. Launch anyways. And let me move this over here. And if we go to tools, plugin manager, I don't see it here. So let me just go straight to the logs, view current log. Gonna copy that into here. And we are going to search for YT. It's not finding it at all. It is not finding it at all. Let's see. And I think it should have. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy this into. I'm gonna copy this whole thing into Gemini. Oh, come on. Let's go to. Let's start over here. And I'm just gonna copy this whole log into Gemini. See, like it doesn't have the one that we created from what I can see. All right, so I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna put that into Gemini. And it says dependency check. If the file exists and has permissions but doesn't load, it might be crashing instantly because it can't find the libraries it needs. Like, Right, I'm gonna paste this for now, but I'm gonna try this dependency check thing real quick because I know this isn't the issue. Use OTool. All right, so let's go back over here before we do that prompt. We're gonna say OTool. I don't even know what OTool is. -L OBS. All right, so OBS YT share framework current version. So version 7, current version. I don't know what that means. It says look at, all right, so look at the output. It should list libobs 0, libobs. I don't see that in particular. Red flag. If you see anything that says R path lib something, the path looks incomplete, that's why it's failing. I'm gonna copy this. So let me see. All right, I'll get rid of what I was gonna put in before. All right, so I'm gonna copy this. And let's go back to Gemini. When I do the OTool command, I get this result. Let's see what that tells us. Because I'm not sure if something's actually wrong or not. It says this is smoking gun. The OTool tells us exactly why the plugin is invisible. The problem, the missing map. Your plugin is looking for libobs using a variable called rpath run search path. The plugin says I need rpath libobs framework. The system says I don't know what rpath is because you moved this file manually. Because the system can't resolve the path, it aborts loading the plugin before OBS even starts logging. That's why, okay. Shout out to you for subscribing to the channel. Truly, truly appreciate you. Please leave me a chat message if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns about what we're working on. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. All right. All right. So since you are live and need a guaranteed fix, we are going to use a Mac tool called install name tool to modify the plugin binary. We will replace the vague rpath variable with the absolute path to the libobs file you built earlier. Okay. Run these two commands inside your terminal. Make sure you're still in the plugins folder where you copy the .so file. So go to the plugin folder just to be safe. All right, we're in there. Install name tool, change rpath, and that is going to be cline obs. Okay, so let's copy this command. And we are going to go to over here. And we need our terminal actually. So inside of here, inside the plugins folder, they want us to do install name tool, change this right here for this over here. Let's see if that works. Generating fake signature for OBS video share. Okay, we got that one. And then it says resign, the resign command, critical code sign, force sign OBS. All right, so we're gonna do this command here. So let me go ahead and close this one out though, because that's old. And we're gonna do code sign, force sign OBS YT share. And let's go ahead and send that off. Replacing existing. All right, we got that. So now we're gonna open up OBS again. Let's see, launch anyways. Let me move this back over here. Tools, plugin manager. I don't see it. I don't see it. So, being that we don't see it, make sure it's not under sources, not under sources. Docs, not under docs. So, how do I have these twice? What is this YouTube control? What is this YouTube control? All right, so let's go ahead and check our logs. View current log. And let's go and look for the OBS share again, or the YouTube one. Startup complete. Vertical. No file, no file. Not seeing it yet. Front end tool is not loaded. Failed to link. Let's take all of this. All right, so we're gonna try that again. Let's copy that. And I'm gonna say, after running those commands successfully, it is still not there. All right. And I'm going to say, here are the logs that I got from OBS SDK. Paste that, send it over, see if that's able to identify any issues. Because I don't see, oh my God. I was putting it in here, sorry. Let me see. I don't see. Yeah, I don't see the YT in there. The logs confirm your dev OBS is running and loading time plugins like vertical canvas feedback by silently ignoring OBS YT video share. When OBS loads the file but doesn't log anything, not even error, it usually means the file is missing the required OBS password symbols. OBS opens the file, looks for a specific registration signature, doesn't find it, and quickly moves on. The password check, do this in terminal. We need to see if your C++ code actually exported the necessary symbols. Run this command on your .so file. If nothing prints, your plugin is empty to OBS. You are missing the macro in your code. If it prints a line, something like OBS module ver, the code is fine. We likely have a folder structure issue. All right, so let's try to running this code right here. Let's go here. go to, just type in front end over here. And it didn't print it out. So if it didn't print it out, then it's probably empty. Or let me do one more thing. Let me take the grep out just so I can see if it's going to find anything with the grep out. So just here. All right. So with that being said, if I go back and I look over here, if your plugin print's empty, you're missing something. Open up your main. All right. So now we have to go back to Sea Lion. I don't know why I find the name Sea Lion so cool now that I said like Sea Lion, S-E-A Lion, Sea Lion. I'm just weird. But we have to go. So your main.cpp should look like include OBS module. This is the password that you're likely to. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and check that out. Let's go over here. Main.cpp. And it says that, is this the right main.cpp file? Close the build, close that. Main.cpp. I don't know if my main.cpp file is supposed to look like that. I feel like it's missing something. Because looking at how it looks on. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take a look at Gemini. Well, not Gemini, but I'm gonna go into here, into Kilo.
Lunch break, lunch break.
So I was gonna go into Kilo and say that, my main.cpp file looks like it's missing something, because looking at it in Gemini, it looks very different. Like this says include IO stream, but the one on Gemini says it should include OBS module. So a little confused by what's going on here. When we come back, we'll test that part out to see like where's the disconnect between what Gemini is telling me and what we have in our Sea Lion, and try to fix that. I don't know, something looks weird. So, but we'll do that when we come back from break, all right? Let me go ahead and find my right OBS. And we got, so shout out to Dendy for subscribing to the channel.
I appreciate you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free to drop any comments or thoughts or things that you would like to see from me, and I'll be more than happy to oblige. All right. And thank you, Magnetar, for holding me down as I'm working. You are welcoming all of the new members to the channel. My guy, Magnetar, is absolutely amazing. While Magnetar is waiting for that turkey to finish cooking, he's helping me out tonight. All right, so next up that we have for tonight is Nvidia. Nvidia hit us with the Fonnie Willis.
So that was cute.
That was cute. They are laughing at Google, because Google says we are here to compete, and Nvidia says,
so that was cute.
They are laughing straight to the bank with this one. So let's see what is going on with that. All right. So let me see, where's my, let's go over to, boom. Nvidia versus Google. You know, they always have these verses and stuff, you know, this rapper versus that rapper and this group versus that group. But what about the real versus? The real versus, the one that I care about, the one that matters to me, is Nvidia versus Google.
Caroline, I think you can fall into the camp of people who's been like, hey, I've known this for a while. I've known that TPUs are so efficient. Does it really make a difference that you have Meta now buying into this? What does it mean to have a market awaken to the possibilities of what Google has developed?
I think what's different here is before Alphabet had been selling it as part of the cloud winning formula. Come to us, you can use our cloud and you use our TPUs, which are on their 7th generation now. They've been developing these for 10 years. They've been offering them to other clients since 2018. We haven't seen them really sell them specifically to others to use within their data centers, not just Meta, but maybe banks who need to trade at high frequency. That's a clear area of edge for them. So they're starting to get this inbound. In fact, a lot of analysts, Stacey Raxton over there, we've heard also from Bernstein, you've also heard from Gil Luria saying this is kind of an obvious dimension of the business model. The question, though, is what will Nvidia do about it? Now, we've heard before reports from The Information that OpenAI was getting very close to potentially taking TPUs from Google, Alphabet, maybe using their cloud more ever since that relationship when Microsoft got disrupted a bit. And then Nvidia went and put $100 billion into OpenAI and said, oh, please do use our GPUs if you wouldn't like to. What is Meta going to suddenly get offered from Jensen Huang? That's my key question, because you've seen big deals with Anthropic, but Anthropic suddenly has got some more investment from Nvidia as well. There's going to be a tussle at the top here, but be sure, Jensen Huang's been eyeing TPUs for a while, and Alphabet, this has been a winning formula. That's why Gemini 3 has been so efficient, and efficiency's everything. It's all about energy and what more they can do with it, because that's going to be the bottleneck.
Yeah, we have actually updated our circularity chart, which continues to grow and boggles the mind no matter which form you look at it in. Michael Ball, is this a problem for the whole market? I mean, so much is built on Nvidia reigning supreme. Here's the new version, right? And you can see all of the deals that they do with other big players like AMD, like Oracle, like Microsoft, like Intel, and that those players do with them. So if Nvidia is brought down, is it a problem for everybody?
I don't think so. And this has been the question that the market's trying to figure out, because capital so far is staying.
So the question is, do Google's TPUs, tensor processing units, do they have the ability to compete with Nvidia? So like they said in the video, or like they were saying, right? Google's been developing these TPUs for the past 10 years now. For the past 10 years. And I remember when Nvidia first started coming out, they were like quiet, low, and even like their stock, like it was on the struggle bus for a while. But then all of a sudden, when AI came out, it blew up. It blew up. But Google's like, and guess what? The funny thing is, at the beginning of the year, when we were doing the AI course, right? Using, what did Google call it again? Was it, what were we using? No, it wasn't Notebook LM. What were we using? It was like Google's version of Google Collab. No, is it Collab? Yeah, I think it's Google Collab, right? And we had access to those TPUs. And from what I see, they are, I don't know the quality that they have with versus the GPUs, but they're a lot cheaper. They're not super cheap, but they're a lot cheaper than, because I looked to get me a Nvidia GPU, and I was like, I'll splurge at the end of the year, maybe $200-300, right? $200 or $300. You know, I was like, I'm feeling myself. But then I saw it was actually $25,000 for a GPU per hour. I was like, oh, can I just have the box instead? I'll put the box right there. I'll put the box right there next to my Infinity Gauntlet, right? But you know, I'm just saying. But I don't know. Do you think that Google can actually compete with Nvidia, or is Nvidia laughing straight to the bank with this one?
In the market. So although we've had Nvidia now break below that 180 level, which was a key battleground and had a lot of sort of positive, negative connotations if it was below or above. The fact that Google has taken on $1 trillion and that the market is just finding a more efficient answer to the AI CapEx question. And that's what we want to see. We want to see competition. We want to see these guys have choices. We don't want the hyperscalers all bottlenecked into one choice that has backlogs growing and energy efficiency questions. We want optionality. We want capitalism to work. And that's sort of what we're seeing. And although it's violent in some ways, given the price action of the winners and losers, it is a positive development in the long run.
Okay, so if we do get, and we have, something more efficient, something more energy efficient, Caroline, is that enough? Or is this an ecosystem that's incredibly sticky? So even if there are hyperscalers and others who want to use Alphabet's chips, if they're already with Nvidia, can they just so easily change over?
What's going to be interesting is how the development of the software works out here, because we understand that Alphabet is doing a lot to show the prowess not only of the TPU, but also the software that goes with it, and some of the ability to use software that's adjacent, not just their JAX, which is their own programming language that they've developed to go alongside TPUs, but you can use others that use different ecosystems. Look, the thing with Nvidia is that they have CUDA, and everyone is locked in not only to the hardware that Nvidia offers, but the entire ecosystem that Nvidia offers. If Alphabet can start to chip away at that and show, look, with us you can have prowess the entire way through, I think there is going to be a real recognition that this is a clear alternative. But remember, the whole vertical integration story, Google has shown so well is that it can develop incredible models because it's using its own tech stack, and then it's putting it out into the ecosystem. We're all using it. Look what Alibaba is just announcing. They too want to be a full vertically integrated company that makes their own chips, that develops the models, that offers it out on their cloud, and then.
And that's one of the key things, what she just said about the vertical, right? Google is like, okay, when you look at it on the grand scheme of things, the grand scale, right? Or not the grand. Let's take a look at it like individually, right? So, Amazon Web Services, AWS, they are ahead of, in my opinion, they're ahead of Google inside of the online provider. I don't know. I can't think of it. It must be the alarm thing. That's messing with me, right? But the cloud provider, right? So let's say Amazon AWS is ahead of everyone on cloud providing, right? Let's say OpenAI is quote unquote ahead of everyone in AI large language model platform, right? Let's say Nvidia is ahead of everyone on chips and stuff, on GPUs. Let's say AMD, for instance, is ahead on anyone on CPUs. But what Google does really well is their integration to into their own platform on everything. So the way that Gemini easily integrates into Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Drive, all of that, the way that it integrates into the search engine, all of that stuff, the way that they integrate it, and then like let's say you want to use their Google Colab, right? It can plug right into their processing unit, so you can easily run AI models. It's allegedly more energy efficient, all of that. So it scales really well. So when you combine it, it becomes more powerful than the individual things that all of these other separate platforms offer. Where you have to put everything together, you can have an all-in-one package through Google, and you get energy efficiency, you get speed, you get integration, you get the large language model, you get the APIs, you get so many different options and opportunities. So she has a great point there.
Offers the models as well. But also remember, this is what Amazon does. Yes, we're talking about TPUs, but Trainium is on their third iteration. We understand that many people are using not only for training, but are we going to use it not just for inference, but the training of models as well? How much can Amazon start to show its competitive edge as well with its chips, not just its AWS offering?
By the way, maybe you can clear something up. I don't really understand Jensen Huang's argument that the GPUs they sell, what are we in now, Blackwell or Hopper?
Vera Rubin for the next one.
Right, so those are capable of many different things, right? The graphics processing units are flexible, as you may have read last night, whereas the tensor processing units are supposed to be ASIC, so they're application specific. However, if that application is AI,
machine learning,
I don't care if GPUs can show me good graphics. I want AI, right?
And I think this is where the battleground is going to be. How much efficiency can you wring out from this hardware with the software within it? And if Jensen Huang can say, look, my GPUs have been able to accelerate your AI models, your machine learning that much faster. And by the way, I've got a chunk of change that I can continue to invest in you as a company and continue to invest in your entire ecosystem. Maybe there's the winning formula. But this is why Google has made everyone sit up straight and why analysts have become noisier and noisier as to how much this has been a winning formula for them, is that DeepMind were able to go directly to their semiconductor team and say, look, with this, we're learning this, let's work in it together, let's understand where the efficiencies can be brought. And I really do think that the infrastructure issue is not going to be whether you eventually can lay your hands on the hardware, it's going to be whether you can do more with the grid, with the electricity. And if they can show energy efficiency at this point, that's going to be what's music to the government's ears and therefore to users' ears. But I just think this turf war is just starting. We're all going to start talking about Inferentia and Trainium and what Amazon's doing and what everyone else is doing in ASICs. Because remember, that's what Broadcom's been doing.
I love it. I love to see the battle of these different tech companies. And she made it such another interesting point, right? The fact that Google has so many different aspects to it, they can work with each other. It says, oh, we just built this TPU. I want you guys to use it here so we can make it more efficient and we can see how well it works with the things that you're working on. And then everything is built on Google, right? One of the things that annoys me with like Google Meet, for instance, is that I can't stream a meeting to other platforms. I can only stream it to YouTube, but Google owns YouTube, so it's like all integrated in. When you have a video on Google Drive, it uses the YouTube player to play your Google Drive video, like whatever video you upload to Google Drive. So it's like it is so integrated with each other that they use like Google's first customer is Google. Imagine, like, that is genius. You have to be your first customer. So I totally get it.
Doing so well on all these companies. Meta's designing its own
Broadcom
chips.
was up 12% yesterday.
OpenAI is developing its own chips. Eventually, maybe that's going to become commoditized, not just large language models.
So it's a world where there are different changes, Michael. I mean, it's no longer sort of like the tide is lifting all boats. You have to be more discerning with what these companies are doing.
Right, and I would add that the depreciation question now is even more forefront, right? Because we don't know, to everything you just said. I do this, I watch this, and my head is blowing. Like, it's just so much to keep track of. And as an investor, if someone who's trying to look at a balance sheet, whether it's a hyperscaler or whether it's the provider of these chips, looking at the backlogs, looking at the inventory builds, how much is this all going to be worth? If there's all these new options of energy efficiency versus training inference kind of duration, how long something stays practical and efficient.
Well, this is why Zuck is supposedly thinking about renting them, right? When I look at a new EV out there in the car world, that's where my mind goes. I think, why don't I lease it instead of buy it? Because there's going to be something better in 2 years anyway, and who knows about the battery. I want to ask, though, more about Danny's question, which is that you have less sector correlation if two people in the same sector are at odds, right? So,
well, funny enough, tech's still been under pressure. So looking at what I like to look at the option markets and seeing where sort of bullish skew / bearish skew is, people are still very negative on tech. People obviously rotated into more value-focused sectors like healthcare, like defensives. And that makes sense in a lot of ways because the valuation thing over the last 3 weeks has been what spurred this. But to your point, that like internal battle of is this good for the overall AI CapEx story is still being fought out, and we're not seeing it with people trying to regain exposure to it. Google calls are expensive, the ball's a little bit high, but it's not necessarily being reached for like we've seen in Nvidia in the past.
And can I ask whether this whole short OpenAI suppliers, long Alphabet suppliers is still working? Because yesterday Oracle pushed higher, but today Oracle's back trading in negative territory before the market opens. Is that long in the tooth, or are we still thinking about that trade?
You know, that's a great question. I don't understand, quite frankly, if everyone's sort of in this together in a lot of ways, why there's been such differentiate to this scale. Now, I get the weaker links are being picked off, but we're looking at CoreWeave and Oracle's down almost 50-40% in their equities, and then obviously we know what's going on with their CDSs. So it looks like we've had that emotional pulse come through the markets, as we often do, and now valuations are sort of reset in a lot of ways, and it's suddenly like going to be a point where people might try to pick bottoms. Now, I'm not calling for that, but I guess to your point, it can't all just go back into Google now. Like, it's got to have this ecosystem of going on.
Apple's next, like, is that the,
yes.
so at the moment it's Nvidia, Apple's at what, 4.2 trillion, there or thereabouts?
I think the Apple questions are incredibly fascinating.
I don't know. It's I like it. I love it. I love the competition. I love the competitive nature. Like, to me, right? These are my sports. Seeing these tech companies battle it out on GPUs, TPUs, CPUs, all of that, on AI models, which AI model is ranked higher, which one is more accurate, which one is faster, how much energy is one using versus the other, all of those specs, and how can you drive the cost down? How can you gain more employees? More customers. Because one thing I heard that basically they were saying that, you know what, Nvidia just buys its clients. You know what, we want you as a client, we're going to invest in you. And like, well, you're going to give us $100 million to work with you. And it's like, you're just paying them back. Cause like, so in my mind, here's how an OpenAI investment into a company would work, right? So OpenAI says, we're going to invest into, Nvidia says, we're going to invest into OpenAI, for example. We're going to invest in $100 million. So with that $100 million investment, all the work that, like, that money that they are investing into OpenAI for all the development, all the work, all the like usage of Nvidia chips that's going to be being used is going to come back to Nvidia in greater fold, right? So that's how I kind of see it working. But I would love for Google to disrupt the market. I would love for Nvidia to come back even harder and say, oh, you know what? I see what you did there, and we're gonna now we are even more efficient, and you just let them fight it out and just make life so much better and easier for us, and you make our stocks dance, and Fonnie Willis says,
so that was cute.
That was cute. All right, let's go back to the chat, and then we shall do one more working segment before we get up and out of here. We got WKD Llama. Is that Weekend Llama? WKD Llama? Or is that WK Llama? Whatever it is, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. With all due, yeah, I like you already. I like you already. So with all due respect, are you good with SQL? I am decent with SQL. I know how to navigate my way through. I know how to do some commands. When it comes to joins and stuff like that, that's when you start to lose me, but I can definitely figure it out. And with my bestie at my side, Gemini 3 Pro, shout out to Gemini 3 Pro. With my bestie at my side, I can figure anything out with SQL. Do you, Weekend Llama, have a question about SQL that I might be able to assist you with? If you do, let me know. And if I need to, I will make a whole video just for you about it. And even possibly a whole entire live stream working out SQL, figuring it out together so you can see, because I might be good with, I might or might not be good with SQL, but I can show you how I would figure out whatever problem that you had that you're trying to solve with SQL. Just let me know your thoughts, your questions, your concerns, and I will make it happen for you. All right. But with that being said, we're going to get to one last remaining segment of the night. Let's jump into it.
It's time to do.
Okay, so here is the issue that I'm having here, right? So we're going to do debug, and I'm going to say that it seems like there was an expectation that the main.cpp file would look something like this. However, it looks like it has nothing to do with the OBS plugin that we are attempting to build. Do you know why? Because we did this one with Kilo and Gemini. So let's find out what exactly is going on here. Because I don't know, I feel like something had to be missing there. Let me see. Do we have any text? OBS plugin, OBS YouTube plugin. Is that the folder that we in? No. OBS YouTube. All right, so there goes OBS YouTube plugin. But there's not a main.cpp file in the OBS YouTube plugin folder. Expand this a little bit. So we're trying to figure out what exactly is going on causing this not to work. All right. So default ID. So the main.cpp file and the root directory is a standard hello world C++ template generated by C-Line when you, all right, so that's not good. The actual source code, the OBS plugin you are expecting containing OBS declare module is an OBS plugin, OBS, okay, build configuration, the root cmake.txt is currently configured to build a generic instead of the actual plugin. Can you confirm that the OBS YouTube plugin is the correct source file you want to build? I'm okay, let's go and find that one. That one looks correct. And that has the OBS declare module that they were looking for. Says this file doesn't belong to any target project. Replace main. All right, so if confirmed, how would you like to proceed? Make update C ++ make file to build. All right, so let's see the project OBS plugin. Okay. So add library module main.cpp. Replace main CPP with content of OBS plugin. Delete main CPP and move OBS to the root. Ooh, let me see. Update C to build OBS. Maybe that's the one. Maybe we'll try this one then. Update C to build OBS plug. Let's try this one. Because it looks like it wasn't actually building the right plugin, which is annoying. Now I gotta find how to build this thing again. Go look that up. Okay, so we see that. All right, let's see. Let's see. KiloCode wants to view the top level files. I think this is the problem right here. Because if it's trying to build main.cpp, but main.cpp doesn't have the right information in there, so maybe this has to be changed to to use this OBS YouTube plugin.h file, or no, this OBS YouTube plugin.cpp file. See, this file doesn't belong to any project target, so I think that would be the problem. So like the code exists, but okay. Okay. And see what happens if I do that. Let me try that. I don't think it's gonna work. I think we tried that last time, it didn't work. Might just do it manually myself again. OBS front-end API file not found. Okay. Run that again. What path are you trying to do this at? It says the user trying to build OBS plugin identified the CMake was building the wrong main.cpp instead of here. I updated the CMake to point to the correct. However, the build field was not found. I tried to find package, but CMake couldn't find the package. It's likely because OBS is part of libOS distributed alongside of it, but not the separate CMake package. Okay. The user is on the Mac. If I look at OBS plugin template structure, it seems to have some CMake helpers. Actually, is hard-coded path. However, it adds CMake. Let me see. Let's see here. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. Eric cannot find package configuration. All right, so let me go ahead and let me just reject that because we were able to do it on our own last time. And I don't want Kilo to go on a treasure hunt. All right, so let's stop that. Let's go ahead and do let's remove the build rm-rf build, and we are going to do cmake-s.-b build-dc make prefix path. And I'm just taking this from what we did last week. All and we're gonna do quote. All right. Error. By not providing find CMake module path, this project has asked CMake to find the package configuration provided by SIMD, but CMake did not find one. Could not find a package configuration file provided by SIMDE. How did we get it to build last time then? Let's see. Let me go to a terminal. Another one. And we are going to do CD C lion S. Okay. Okay, so we should CD SIMD install. Okay. So what you're telling me here is the install prefix SIMD to CMake all right, so we are going to it started installing. And all right, I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to take that into Gemini. The main.cpp was not properly configured when written to be for the OBS plugin. The plugin CPP file was in a different location. When attempting to build the plugin again, I got this error now. How can I fix it? Let's go here, do that. I'm telling you, like, it's so many different moving pieces, because like, okay, it got it to build, but it built it the wrong way. Now we try to build it again, and now the whole SIMDE issue is happening again. It is a total nightmare. But that's how the game goes, though. That is how the game goes. This is what we live for. This is what we live for. This is my competition right here. Competing with myself and competing with this code. The error is happening because the subtle shell versus CMake conflict. The diagnosis, you put quotes around the Mac. Doesn't oh. All right, I gotcha. So let's try that again. All right, let's try that again. So because we use the tilde and not the annoying, but okay. So let's clean that out. Go back over here. And we are going to copy this whole CMake file, but instead of the tilde, we're going to use brew, or we're going to use home. And it still has the same issue, so you suck. But not providing CMake error at CMake. All right, CMake text file 7. So let's go to CMake text file line 7. Find pack explicitly before. Okay, so wait. So there is more over here. So it says backup plan robust CMake list. You mentioned you had to rewrite your main.cpp. Likely reset your CMake.txt file. You probably lost the manual code fix we added earlier. Here's the complete file again. Copy and paste this to overwrite your current. Ooh. Okay. I think I see the issue that we're having. We have a conflict in what okay, I see the issue. Right? So go to so here's the issue, right? When we copied and pasted the from Google, we lost the custom directory that's happening here. So what we're gonna do is, let me see how we're gonna do this. We're gonna go over here. I'm gonna copy the one from Gemini. And then we're gonna go to type that. And we're gonna go to here. We are going to replace, this one with, okay. We're gonna replace this here like that. And we are going to, I guess, get rid of this whole thing over here. Oh wait, no. So CMake minimum, so it starts at CMake minimum version. So over here, we should get rid of all of that there. So now if we try to build it again and see what happens. No, and then it go through it all. Let's go to clear the build folder. And we're still failing there. Don't know why. Line 78, find packet error. So what's line 78? Oh, let's see. By providing find CMake, this project has asked CMake to find, but CMake did not find one. But I thought I was specifying where to get it from, though. I thought I was specifying where to get it from.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
I said to look for it in here. Let me see. So we did all that. Let me try to do one more thing. I don't think that's going to make a difference, but could not find the package configuration provided by SIMD. So if I go to ls cd include ls cd SIMD ls ls cd cd lib ls cd pkg config ls. Add the installation prefix SIMD to CMake prefix path, or set SIMD dir as a directory containing one of the above files. If SIMD provides a separate development package or SDK, be sure it has been installed. I don't know. We're really close. We were really, really close. And then we ran into this. Let's go back to over here. Let's see. Let's see. So when was this? When did we do this one? To understand why you had this, look at the dependency. CMake. This should finally give you. Okay, I got an error. So I'm going back to what we looked at last week. This absolutely matters. This is exactly why you're seeing this. When you build OBS, the fix. Replace your CMake file with this version. So I have an idea. Okay. Okay. Updated CMake. So if I take the one from last week and then I get rid of, I just change wherever has that main.cpp part. I change this right here. Then that should be all right. So check your path. Let's see. Because I got the build to run last week. Okay, so where did it actually work? Okay, so this, all right, so this one worked for us. So if we were to copy this one and we go back over here, and we go to copy this, the library, and we say add library. We say we swap that out, and we go up to here and we get rid of all of this over here, right? And then it says that we should do rm-rf build, and then copy this path over here, and we do that. That's, oh my God. That SIMDE thing is driving me crazy. How do we get, let me see something, PWD. Do we have to CD? Let me see something. Oh, so inside of this folder, it got further, but is it because of, let me see something. So inside this folder, cmake.list, OBS, I don't know. Add library, CMake, find OBS, include directories, link directories. Looks like it's trying to do it for the CMake error at compiler config. Building OBS Studio on Mac requires Xcode generator. I'm gonna play with it a little bit more tonight. I'm getting two different errors from inside the folder versus outside the folder, so I'm not entirely sure which one is necessarily which. I'm gonna play with it. I'll find out. But I'm gonna wrap it up with that tonight. I think we are at a good stopping point. I was really hoping that we could have got this installed, but we found out that we have a little bit more work to do, a little bit more. We have some issues, but we're getting closer. I just want to be able to see it installed. So I think I'm gonna spend a little bit more time playing around with it tonight and see what we can do. And then we shall go from there. But that's it. That's all I got for you guys for tonight. Let me check the chat one last time before we get up out of here, and then I will wrap us up. Let me see. We have Magtor says he stepped away for a minute. His turkey is done. Shout out to you, Magnetar. And Magnetar hit us with the evil laugh. All right. With that being said, tomorrow we have the bug bite. We're going to be talking about Anthropic being hacked by Chinese state-sponsored hackers, allegedly. The first AI hack. Saturday, Vibe Code and Chill. I'm going to be showing you how to get access to my different tools, especially the self-coaching portal, my Tech Barbarians coaching portal. It's going to be available to anyone who's a Patreon member. Sunday we have live streaming, working on the speech coaching app, all that good stuff, right? So a fun, packed weekend. So I'm looking to seeing you throughout the weekend. Tomorrow, you guys. One more time, happy Thanksgiving. I am thankful for you. Yes, I am thankful for you. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Let's stay on our purpose. ResumeFlow.app, TechCoachRap.dev, Thrive.TechCoachRap.dev. You can find me at all of those places. But until next time, you guys have an amazing rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your Friday if you have it off. Don't go crazy on Black Friday shopping, because then you will end up complaining about how the poverty level should be lifted up. It's amazing. The poverty level to be 140K, but we have $1,200 iPhones. Bruh. It is what it is. But until then, TechCoach, we are out.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Flawless victory.
Yeah. Finally hit that checkpoint. They said it couldn't be done, but they ain't on this road. Windows down. Bass all the way up. Just ride. All this that open road, cruise control, milestone pass, now we aiming for the next goal. Let the bass ride, leave the hate behind. All that negativity, I just pay it no mind. It's that next phase feeling, yeah, the vision's clear. All the doubt they had is fading in the rearview mirror. Yeah. They don't know the hours that I had to put in, all the door they shut that I had to kick in, all the nights I missed, all the sleep I lost. They just see the shine, they don't know the cost. Remember nights I was praying for a breakthrough, staring at the ceiling, wondering what I'm gon' do. Man, the burnout's real, that'll push right through it. Had a vision in my head, I just had to stick to it. All the talk was cheap, man, that noise was loud. Had to block them out, separate from the crowd. They was throwing dirt, trying to cloud the name, while I was in the lab, building out the frame. Every line of code, every hour on the stream was a brick I laid for the whole damn dream. This ain't happened overnight, this was slow cooked. Every L I took was a lesson in the textbook. Now I'm on the highway, cruise set at 80, feeling like the man, yeah, I'm feeling like maybe I was built for this, maybe it's my time. This milestone's a checkpoint, not the finish line. The bass from the 808 shaking the whole whip. Took a deep breath, man, I'm enjoying the trip. This is just a preview of the movie, not the end. Time to hit the gas and do it all again. Oh, this that open road, cruise control, milestone pass, now we aiming for the next goal. Let the bass ride, leave the hate behind, all that negativity, I just pay it no mind. It's that next phase feeling, yeah, the vision's clear. All the doubt they had is fading in the rear view mirror. So I'm rolling solo, just me and my thoughts, plotting on the next move, connecting the dots. This milestone is sweet, yeah, I'ma let it soak in, but the blueprint for the next one is already spoken into existence, man, the vision's panoramic. They was sleeping on a kid, now they in a panic, trying to jump on board, trying to ride the wave. The same ones who doubted, the same ones who paid. I just tip the hat, I don't hold a grudge. From where I'm sitting, man, I'm way too far above all the petty drama, all the he said, she said. I'm just focused on the profit, focused on the bread. Optimistic for the future, cause I built the past. Got the foundation solid, know this thing will last. This that tech coach vision, this that pioneer flow. Planted all the seeds, now I'm about to watch it grow to a whole new level, to a different height. I ain't even worried, man, the future's looking bright. It's that round midnight vibe, feeling so alive. Some folks just survive, man, I'm learning how to thrive. So I let the beat rock, fast and heavy bass, while my mind is slow, steady, winning the race. Got the plan laid out for the next 5 years. Cheers to the hustle, man, and cheers to the tear. Oh, this that open road, cruise control, milestone pass, now we aiming for the next goal. Let the bass ride, leave the hate behind, all that negativity, I just pay it no mind. It's the next phase feeling, yeah, the vision's clear. All the doubt they had is fading in the rear view mirror.
And I won't let them break me, no matter what they send my way. This highway's open, and I'm focused, yeah, I'm on my way, I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Yeah, just like that. The beat ride. That negativity can't even catch up, man. We on a different frequency. Phase 1, complete. Phase 2, loading.